Rachel Hurley was a sassy and strong-willed 14-year-old girl. Some would have even called her bossy. At least that's how her friends described her. They remember her from the last time they saw her spinning on her heels and flipping her hair as she dashed away on March 17th, 1990. So today marks the 35th anniversary of the disappearance of Rachel Hurley. And this happened in Jupiter, Florida, and to this day her killer has never been found. On St. Patrick's Day 1990, Rachel and her friends had spent a pleasant day boating at the Jupiter Inlet. At approximately 2:45, Rachel began getting nervous that she wouldn't make it back in time to meet her mother at 3 o'clock. Shortly before 3 p.m., they docked into Dubois Park, and Rachel and her two friends, Erin and Maddie, started down the path between Dubois Park and Carlin Park where they were supposed to meet Rachel's mother. Along the way, the two girls told Rachel they had to stop at the restroom. With a careless flip of her hair, Rachel continued down the path to the parking lot where her mother was waiting for her. She never made it. Rachel's mother, Andrea Hurley, waited for her daughter in the parking lot about a mile away. Her mother later told authorities that all kinds of questions were going through her head. Did I misunderstand where I was supposed to meet her? Could she have gotten a ride with somebody else and gone home already? So thinking that might have been a possibility, Rachel's mother ended up going home. When she arrived home to no sign of Rachel, her mother returned again to Carlin Park, and for the next 5 hours she, friends, and spectators searched for the teen. During that 5 hours, the Palm Beach Sheriff Office was contacted, and they launched a search that included 100 deputies, 2 boats, 1 helicopter, 8 mounted deputies, and 3 canine units. One of Rachel's good friends, Sherry Duff, said in an interview that she remembered the chaos from that day. Sherry wasn't with Rachel when she disappeared, but had been at the beach that day. After a few hours of searching, her mother cajoled her into going home and waiting for news. Sherry stated, "We got the call that they had found Rachel, or they had found her body. That moment still gives me chills. It's a moment I won't ever forget." According to police, Rachel's partially clad body had been found in a wooded area near Carlin Park around 8:15 p.m. She was found just east of the path leading to where her mother was waiting for her in the parking lot. The rest of her clothes were found scattered not too far away. Sherry believes her friend took a shortcut through the woods to try to avoid some of the sand from the beach whipping at her legs on the very windy day. But unfortunately, that shortcut put her directly in harm's way. Now, Palm Beach Sheriff Office officials concluded that Rachel had been raped and strangled. Her body was covered in defensive wounds, indicating that she had fought her assailant to the bitter end. The sheriff's office said that the first tip came in from a high school student claiming to have been at the beach that day. That description led to more than 50 homeless men being questioned, who were known to often turn up at the wooded area, but nothing came of those conversations. For 35 years, potential suspects have been investigated with no arrests. Some knew Rachel, and others are now currently serving time for other offenses unrelated. There has been testing of 127 samples of male DNA with no matches to anything found on Rachel. Now, as DNA technology advances, authorities hope that a match or some physical evidence will develop and lead them to the actual killer. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office Detective William Springer came out of retirement in 2013 to work on cold cases, including Rachel's. He meets with the Hurley family often as he continues to follow up on leads in Rachel's case. "We're living," Detective Springer said. They're living. We have enjoyed things in life. Rachel has not, and it's not fair. They need to go to jail. Rachel's friend Sherry was only 13 when her friend was abducted, changing her life and the life of the Jupiter, Florida community forever. She remembers her friend as charming and fun. She had a big personality, with friends lovingly calling her Miss Sassy Pants. It was her way or no way, Sherry would giggle. But then she smiled, and you couldn't help but love her. Everyone loved her. An interesting side note, according to Sherry, the group of friends were playing with a Ouija board just a few weeks before at a slumber party. Sherry said she remembered the question, who would die first, being asked. And the planchette spelled out Rachel. Then do it, bitch, Rachel said, as reported by Sherry, as everybody laughed and went along with it. Sherry went on to say, but when we asked for a sign, the house alarm went off and we lost it. It was just weird, and not long after that she was gone. About 15 years ago, Sherry began her fight for justice for Rachel. She searches every day for new evidence that might lead to Rachel's murderer. We just want to keep her story alive. She deserves justice, Sherry said. In peace. Sherry stays in contact with Detective Springer as he continues to investigate tips and leads. She believes it was a single killer who murdered Rachel, and that someone somewhere has information that could lead to closing the case. And while there were many on the beach that day who came forward, several of them reported to the wrong police agencies. Sherry implores, if you told your story back then, please come forward and tell it again. It could be the piece we need to find who did this to Rachel. And Detective Springer calls it a case that will never go away. I know that somebody out there has first-hand knowledge that could put us on the right track to put this person in jail, he said. And they need to step up and do the right thing. Through the years, Rachel's family has had limited involvement in Rachel's case. But Sherry says they very much want justice for Rachel. Rachel's mother last spoke to the press in 2017. Our Rachel was a feisty, sassy, beautiful girl who made us laugh with her silly antics. Andrea went on to say she was a force to be reckoned with, a charmer, who we often said could leave with a quarter, travel the world, and come back with change. Her mother continued with an emotional statement. To her friends who lost their innocence on that day, she was curious, optimistic, bossy, a leader, kind and thoughtful, and just plain cool. Thank you to those friends who love her to this day, who try to make sense of this and tirelessly still try to help find the person who took her from us. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and go off camera and do my liner and lashes, and we'll be right back to finish this up. Hang tight. Detective Springer has said that he hopes that he can find the killers while the family is still around. But in 2019, Rachel's father, Daniel Hurley, died suddenly while coaching his grandson's lacrosse team. I'm just sorry I couldn't solve his murder before he died, the retired detective said. Authorities continue searching for Rachel's killer. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office appeals for anyone who knows anything about her death to come forward. Anyone with information about Rachel's case is encouraged to call Crime Stoppers of Palm Beach or Detective Springer. And I'll link the numbers in the description box below. I can't talk and do lipstick, especially black, at the same time, so hang on. Oh, black is hard. Thank you so much for joining me today, the Unicorns, for this dismal St. Patrick's Day story, an equally dark goth look. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Don't forget about this fabulous contest I'll hold when I hit 500 subscribers. And to know when I drop my next video, hit the notification bell. Thank you for coming, and as always, stay magical. I feel patchy, oh so patchy. I feel patchy and bloody and yuck. At some point, you just gotta say good enough. Not at that point.